Recording. Right, we are Ben, Dan, James, myself, Zach. This is our project Volokov for the motion capture brief. Next slide, James will explain what it's all about. So, James.
Okay, so basically it's set in a lab, and a Russian billionaire, Volokov, he wants to clone himself, so they burn a mask into his face, and it goes wrong, and he goes all crazy, and yeah.
We wanted to have like the good guy and the bad guy, but take out the good guy yet. This is just like the trailer for the start of the film. So he's the bad guy, and then it will proceed into the rest of the film. This is the poster art we made for it. We wanted to follow a theme, like a comic book design. This is the storyboard. Again, we looked into DC Comics, see how they laid out theirs. So we run through it briefly. Volokov breaks free from his constraints on the board. The alarms go off. The building goes into lockdown. The scientist, who is in the room also, he tries running away. He pursues him. He hits him, and he throws him through a wall. And we'll show you the simulation of that later on. The second half is complete, but it takes a long time to get it into this theme, so it's still work in progress.
We got our inspiration for the mask for our villain from villains from other films and comics. Just like in these, our one relies on the mask, which is set into his face to breathe and survive. Just like Isaac from Dead Space, without the mask he can't breathe.
These are some of our initial ideas for the mask. It's all work in progress, but the mask moved on a lot from here.
This is the final idea of the mask. I was looking when I was designing it to try and get the Russian gas mask in it, but we all decided that wouldn't be the good option. Instead, we've got the front of a human skull on, plastered onto his face, strapped onto his head, with his ocular lenses so he can see through. The touch that really makes it, in my opinion, what makes it the mask, is the Russian star going across his eyes to really emphasise how he's just some Soviet billionaire.
This is the 3D environment. The lab, again, is still work in progress, but we want like a light, airy feel about it. You can see the Russian portrayed as the white bed and the other scientist. This is some assets for it. To go into it, desk, we create like a Bunsen burner, microscope, etc.
This is the actual chair thing he's attached to, like with all the experiments and stuff going into it, and it's just a cabinet work in progress. And here's a lead pipe they're going to use as a weapon in the actual animation.
This is the character. We thought rather than showing you character concepts, we've actually gone and made the character. We looked into tattoos and what they represent, like the cathedrals within Russian inmates, like he's done a bit of time. Turn around. It's sculpted in mud blocks. And earlier on I said about the wall smashing. We've gone into the simulation of it. So you have the first scenario where the character is shown here as the ball would hit into the wall and then the plaster fall down, or the second scenario where the character would go straight through the wall and then we'd make the room behind. And this is our schedule sheet.
And we're pretty up to date on it so far.
It's just the top. And that's it. Any questions?
So you've got the what's the measurements for the motion capture?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that if one bit's going to be the lab and then you're going to have the blood smash into the wall?
You're not. It's just the bit that was green is the bit that obviously all the action's going to happen in, and that's the right dimensions for where the motion capture is going to happen.
You do it so the character you wouldn't actually see him. You'd see him go through the wall, but you wouldn't see him come out through the rubble when he turns around and goes to the other side of the room.
Obviously we have to model what's inside that room as the wall's smashing in, so you will see in there.
Why, do you want to explain why he needs the mask if he's going to get cloned? What's the whole point of that?
The idea was that when he's getting his body cloned, a mask onto his face to effectively just like scan his brain, take all the information off there. But then when it went wrong, when it was grafted to his face, it burnt him, sent him mad, and that's how he is now.
Anyone else?
It was a very quick presentation. You had 15 minutes. and you were going so fast I can hardly keep up with you. To that point, could I ask you to just skip back through your presentation a bit to the script, because I didn't really see that.
Storyboard.
That's the storyboard. Script?
We have done a script, but we thought rather than we'll show you with pictures.
Yeah. Okay. So you were verbally describing what you verbally described is that. So because it's motion capture, what you need to do is to be very, very clear. You've got a definition of movements and a range of movements there, but you need to be able to have like a script, a written piece that you can take in. So if one or the other of you are ill on the day of the capture, at least somebody knows exactly what you're going to do directly.
The fight scene written out,
Okay.
choreographed.
Yeah.
Just stay away from like a wall of text.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're doing the direction, have you decided who's going to be directing the actors?
Yeah, it's all in the job list.
Okay. Have you've got a powerful character as your sort of antagonist, and a powerful character for your protagonist. Are you looking particularly for those kind of characters in your actors?
Well, the only actor we really need, well, obviously someone with a big build, and then hopefully the ladder system would be anyone. They don't have to be particularly muscly or
No.
just normal. A male.
Yeah.
It's like the costume design, the lab coat and trousers and shoes.
It's like, I like the way you've done the storyboard. It's nice.
Thank you.
What did you use? Photoshop?
Yeah. The sketches in there.
That's good. Okay. Simon, Jason, any questions?
I just wanted you to go through the slides slowly, and Dan, for you to stand slightly to the right so that we can see exactly. Yeah, just want to kind of.
If you go back to the beginning, maybe just do it, run through them so that we can.
It's important because you can really miss something. It's clear that a lot of work's gone into this in a very short space of time.
And our logo, that the way it's layered, that portrays the cloning. So that was looked into as well.
Okay.
Rather than showing text. So the storyboard from earlier. The inspiration. James's concept. In the early stages. And then Zach's. Sort of inspired by Dishonored.
Yeah.
Where the mask is like a skull. The room concept, especially the Star Wars one with Darth Vader on it. That was
Similar to
And then
how
we're
it is
going
in
off.
the animation.
And then we're going off Portal because we want it to be quite a clean, plain environment, very light.
yeah, work in progress. That's it.
Okay. Was there not one more slide? Yeah.
More assets for the lab, the constraints on site.
You know, chemical fridge.
So when you get to the capture stage, your environment is going to be modelled up. Is it only going to be at previs state, or is you have textures on it?
It's going to be textured, but it's still a work in progress now.
Right. So when you go into the studio, you'll have the the motion builder screen showing what you're doing, so you can actually, sort of collaborate with the actor and say this is where you're stood and this is what's
Yeah.
happening. Right.
We've written like a bird's eye view of the floor plan, so
Yeah.
actors know where they need to be and when.
Okay.
Put markers on the floor with tape.
Right, I was going to say, when you go in and you've got all your props, you can go in and place markers, and you're going to, because that can take quite some time actually to get the things exactly where you need them and where you want them. And then when you're doing the live data capture, you can see them interacting with and against the objects that you've then put in place on those markers. Because if they're going through it, it's going to be false, so you need to be really, really careful about the planning of that. Okay, cool.
So you've got a few more, haven't you? Just want to see. So they're behind.
That's the pipe that the scientist's going to use as the
So
black.
is that the only prop you're going to have?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And that's going to be on the floor somewhere in the lab.
We've put
Okay.
trackers on some sort of stick.
I mean, I'm really liking this, and I think if you can get that prevised to not necessarily that quality, I understand that it might actually put quite a lot of tension on the computers, but I mean, it gives us a really good idea of where the character's coming from. It relates back to the name. Yeah, it kind of works.
One good thing about this as well, I fully agree with what you're saying, but when you get the actors and actresses come in, when they come in, hopefully this Friday, you'll be able to get them and show them
what
the
they'll
character
look
and say,
like.
this is the personality you need to get into, you know? And explaining that they are foreign, it's good Russians, and therefore they've got that extra cockiness, you know, that aggression.
Just imagine. And then with the ball smash, again, the ball's just representing the person. I thought we were talking about it in the early stages of it, and we thought rather than just saying this is what we're going to do, we want to actually show you guys we can do this. Obviously, this will be to a higher quality.
Yeah.
So what was can you just explain to me the difference between the two? Why there was
So-
one that was just kind of,
One of them, the scientist actually gets thrown all the way through into another room, but on this one here, there's obviously two walls, and only one of them
so
shatters.
why was showing us that?
Just showing two different ideas, two different possibilities.
Showing that it can be done rather than just saying it.
No, I don't mean that.
No.
I mean, like, why have you shown me?
Both of them.
Yeah.
So the two scenarios, we thought rather than
So you've got two scenarios. One where you could be,
yeah,
know,
what's the
not going for
logistics of pushing him through the wall? If we can't do this, what can we do?
okay, cool. No, that's very good.
And then obviously we need to model the room behind.
Yeah. So can you just show me on, if you go back to the screen of the whole map, that one. So just point out to me where the edge of the marker database
This
is.
green
So that's the
shape
floor.
is the floor, yeah.
Okay, so everything else is
6x3. Yeah.
external from the catchment
Yeah.
area.
I'm going
Okay.
to keep the villain inside the green.
Yeah. Okay, so when they come in, when they start interacting in the mocap studio floor, where are they coming in from?
They won't be. The scientists will already be in
Yeah.
the green space,
And then
and
the villain's already on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're starting directly from in the
Yeah.
catchment area. Okay. Okay.
The schedule is
Good.
Actually, I've got one more question. Sorry.
Yep.
Once he gets through the wall
Yeah.
and he's on the other side,
Yeah.
will he be out of that area?
Yes, you will.
He will, but
And
he's
then
So you're going to cut,
no,
kind of.
he's real. Obviously, he's a real life person.
so you can kind of carry on filming that.
Yeah, we're going to keep on filming the villain and his next.
Where's he going to start his T-pose and where's he going to finish his T-pose?
Well, the villain can start where he's going to be like laying against the board, and the scientist wouldn't matter because it's just film.
Alright. We might have to do different takes on that. We might have to get them started in T-pose in the centre, walk to where the action's going to take place, then run through the sequence, and then go back to the centre. But we also do some from starting at the point that you want the action to take place from, okay?
Okay, will be the edge.
Okay. You know that you're going to have the. I assume that the board he's going to be on the bloke.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like not
Is that
straight?
like-
It's going to be at an angle.
Yeah.
How's he going to do that with nothing behind it? Because that's going to be.
Someone can hold him, or we can put some sort of. We'll work it out.
Okay. Any questions, James? Right. Anyone else, any questions? No? Okay, well done. Thank you.